The fascinating world of Aryans, an ancient group of people whose legacy still echoes in the history of India and Iran. It's around the 14th century BC, and while Greeks and Italians are just starting to pen their literary works, the Aryans are already leaving their mark on history. They were a branch of people of India and Europe, considered one of the oldest branches. Now here's where it gets interesting. After their separation from the people of India and Europe, the Aryans embarked on a journey southward. They eventually split into three branches: the Indian branch, the Iranian branch, and the Scythian branch. The Indian and Iranian Aryans made their way towards the Central Asia, where they settled for quite some time. Scholars estimate that this separation from their original roots could have happened around 3000 BC. The Indian Aryans moved toward the Hindu Kush and eventually settled in Punjab region of India, while their Iranian counterparts headed south and west, spreading across the Iranian plateau. As for the Scythian branch, information about them is scarce. We glean what we can from ancient inscriptions, Greek historian writings, and excavations in their tombs. They were known for their strength, bravery, and nomadic lifestyle, spreading from Central Asia to the Great Danube River. The Aryans left a lasting impact not just in the regions they settled but also in their name. They referred to themselves as Arya, meaning noble or faithful. This name later evolved into Iran, signifying their noble lineage. Now let's talk about the arrival of the Aryans in the Iranian plateau. The exact reason for the Aryans' arrival on the Iranian plateau is not definitely known. The Avesta, the main scripture of the Zoroastrian religion, refers to Iran as the realm of Aryans, describing it as a land with pleasant climate and fertile lands. However, as mentioned in Avesta, evil spirits made the land cold, and as the land became less fertile, migration began. It's unclear whether Iran was the original homeland of Aryans before their separation from the people of India and Europe, or if it became their home after living with the Indians. Nevertheless, it can be speculated that migration was driven by population pressure in these areas. The arrival time of Aryans to the Iranian plateau is unclear. However, some scholars previously believed it was around 2000 BC. This was based on the history of Elamites, a people thought to be Aryans, which we later discuss the Elam civilization in the future videos. However, it's now believed that the migration began around the 14th century BC and continued until the 8th century BC. Now, what happened after the time Aryans arrived in the Iranian plateau? The Aryans are said to spread across 16 regions, with one of them being Iran itself and the other two being Alborz area in Iran and the Punjab region in India. Some researchers infer from the Avesta that these regions or states indicates the route and spread of the Aryans. It is believed that Iranian Aryans came from Sogdiana towards Merv, then Herat and Nisa and Kabul. They then went towards Raqqa and Helmand. When they reached Lake Hamun, which was larger than the current Lake Sistan at the time, they did not pass beyond it, especially since the south lay an arid lands of Balochistan and Makran. After occupying Sistan, they moved westward towards the southern part of Khorasan, Damavand, and Ray. In the western regions, there were these mysterious folks called Kassids, but we're not quite sure where they come from. Meanwhile, in Mazandaran, we had the Taparis and the Elamites. These regions had all sorts of beliefs about other parts of Iran. Now, when the Aryans arrived in Iran, they met some local folks whom they saw as inferior in race, habits, morals, and of course religion. They called these people deviators. Some artifacts in Mazandaran suggesting they treated the locals like conquerors ruling over the conquered. Now let's get into the religion of Aryans. So for a long time, the Aryans' religion was kind of like a mixtape with the Indians. They even shared a common language, but later on, they started going separate ways in terms of beliefs. We're not exactly sure when, but it seems to have happened between the 9th and 14th century BC. The Aryans' religious beliefs evolved over time. At first, they worshipped these friendly beings who gave humanity nature's gifts, like sunshine and rain. But there were also darker entities they saw as troublemakers, like bringing droughts and diseases. They worshipped the good guys and tried to protect themselves from the bad ones with rituals and prayers. Some experts think the Aryans started with worshipping things like the sun and thunder, but then they shifted towards believing in just one all-powerful god. This change likely happened gradually, and it reached its peak with the rise of figures like Zoroaster. Now, despite starting off as the underdogs compared to their neighbors like Babylon and Assyria, the ancient Iranians were really ahead of the game in ethics. Their religious beliefs were all about honesty and doing the right thing, which was quite in a contrast to the widespread acceptance of lies as something really bad. Alright, let's talk about the family, social classes, and the government structure among the ancient Aryans in Iran. So, families were led by the father, or the eldest. And even though women didn't have as many rights as men, they were still respected and considered the head of the household. It seems like women's status among the Aryans was better compared to other nations at that time. They were mainly subject to their fathers. Now let's look at how the government worked. It was based on the tribal kingship, with several tribes forming a confederation. Each tribe was made up of several clans and their settlement called deh in the Old Persian language, which is an equivalent for village in English. It was led by a Ways, which was later called a Gayo, which in English means the master. Several clans formed a tribe or a people, and their place of residence, which was their domain, was called Dehyu. The heads of families chose the tribal chief, and the tribal chiefs chose the leader of a tribe or people, called Dehyupat. When several people or domains come under the rule of one person, it was called the Great King. The Dehyupats were actually governors or lesser kings who paid tribute to the Great King and then sent gifts to the court. They also provided troops for the king during wars. Many of the ancient heroes in Aryan culture were Dehyupats, inheriting their rule over domains or states within their families. The government formed by the ancient Iranians, like the Parthians that established their dynasty in 24/7 BC, resembled prehistoric Aryan governments. The well-structured governments of Aryans began around the 7th or late 8th century BC. What happened before that is shrouded in mystery. Throughout the whole 23 centuries, up to the 7th century CE, we don't really know what the Aryans were up to. It is said that they established urban and rural governments during this time. There are stories about 4 ancient Iranian Aryan dynasties, the Jamshidians and the Faridunians, and there are the Manucherians and the Zabis, dating back to the time of Jamshid, which is ancient indeed. The Manucher and Zab dynasties are associated with periods when Iranian Aryans were settled in northeastern Iran, facing pressure from northern people who constantly attacked them. The Aryans, an ancient civilization that left an indelible mark on the tapestry of human history. From their epic migration to the formation of vibrant cultures in places like Iran and India, the Aryans were pioneers of their time. As we've journeyed through their story, we've uncovered the mysteries of their arrival on the Iranian plateau, their religious beliefs, social structures, and governmental systems. Despite the passage of millennia, their legacy endures, echoing through the annals of time. So the next time you gaze upon the ancient ruins of Persia or marvel at the intricate tapestries of Indian folklore, remember the Aryans, whose footsteps paved the way for the rich tapestry of cultures we cherish today. The coming videos will cover other ancient civilizations that has existed just after the Aryans period and located nearby them. So why not keeping up with our channel? Subscribe to our channel and share this video if you have any history enthusiast around you.